Hey there, Prof. Aram here, and in this video we're going to learn how to find the price or present value of a bond. So let's get to this. Here we're going to keep things very simple. To find the value of the bond, we're going to rely on the techniques and tools that we learned about them in the time value of money and discounted cash flow chapter. So the first and main task here is to identify or forecast the cash flows from the asset. So when you look at the bond, what are the cash flows? We have the coupons that we receive, and we have also a face value or future value for a bond that we're going to receive. All we're doing here is we're finding the present value of the cash flows that we're going to receive from this bond. So what are the cash flows? We have coupons and the par value. And we know how to calculate the present value of an annuity, and we know how to calculate the present value of a lump sum. All we're doing is we're combining the two. So the first part in this formula shows the present value of the annuity that we learned before, and the second part is the present value of the lump sum. So let's look at an example. So these are the inputs for the financial calculator and the Excel that I'm going to go over in a minute. But let's look at an example first. Here we have a bond with a coupon rate of 10%, and the coupons are paid annually. The compounding frequency is annual, so we don't have to change anything here. The par value is 1,000. If the question doesn't mention the par value, you should assume it's 1,000 because most bonds in the US have a par value of 1,000. The bond has 5 years to maturity, meaning that in 5 years, the issuer has to pay the last coupon plus the $1,000 face value, and the yield to maturity is 11%. The yield to maturity is our discount rate. In terms of the formula, we're doing this. The price today is the coupon rate in year one. So how much is the coupon payment? The payment would be 10% the coupon rate times par. So it would be 10% times $1,000 par. So you'll have $100 every year. And so the way we find a price, it would be $100 divided by 1.11. Remember, this is your discount rate. Coupon rate is not your discount rate. So your discount rate that you use, the rate of return that you use is the yield to maturity. So for year one, and then same thing, but for year two, three, and finally for the last year, you receive the last coupon plus the $1,000 face value, right? So to find the price of the bond, that is all we're doing. We're finding the present value of all the future cash flows of the bond. The future cash flows are the 5 coupons that you will receive plus the one lump sum of face value $1,000 that you receive at maturity. So let's see how we can do this in the financial calculator first. In the financial calculator, we input the face value of 1,000. That's what we received, so I'm going to put a positive sign here. And then we are also receiving the payments, so $100. So these two have the same sign because these are the cash inflows for the investor. As an investor in this bond, I'm going to receive $100 payments and I'm going to receive $1,000 face value. These are inflows for me, so the signs are going to be positive. The signs are going to be the same. From the point of view of the company, payment and face value would be negative. But keep in mind that these two should have the same sign, payment and face value. And we have 5 years to maturity, so N is 5, and 11% for the discount rate. We can compute the present value. So we have $963.04. Let's just do this in Excel as well. So same problem here. Face value is 1,000. Payment is 100. Your rate is the same as your yield to maturity. Your discount rate is 11%, and the number of periods is 5. All you're doing here, you're finding the present value, the same way that we did in the previous videos. So your rate is 11%, number of periods is 5, your payment is 100, and then your future value is 1,000. Then you can compute it, and you end up with a number that is less than 1,000. We call this a discount bond. So if the price of the bond is less than 1,000, we call this a discount bond. Now, let's go over the next problem. Valuing a premium bond. Everything is the same, except now your discount rate is 8%. Your discounted rate is lower. And then finally, for the last year, you receive the last coupon plus the lump sum of the face value. So that would be 1.08 to the power of 5 because it's in year 5. So let's see how much is the value of this bond. Everything is the same except the rate. So I'm just going to change the rate here to 8%, the discount rate, and then compute the price. As you can see, the price has increased to 1,000. $1,079. And of course, I mean, the Excel is going to give you the same answer. Everything is similar to the above, I mean, the problem above, except the rate. Okay. And finally, let's look at another one. Again, so this one, since the price of the bond is more than 1,000, we call this a premium bond. Now, I guess you know where we are going with this. Here we have a bond. I mean, it's the same bond, now with the yield to maturity of 10%. So in this case, price would be the present value of the future cash flows. Sorry, 1.1 power of 4. Let's do this cleaner. And then the last year, you will receive the last coupon plus, I don't even have to calculate this, but let's just do it anyway. If we change the rate to 10, price has to be 1,000. We call this a par bond. A bond that is valued at $1,000 is going to be called a par bond. I hope you find this video useful, and thanks for watching.